I'm going to tell you 2 ways that being a pick-me is harmful. Way number 1, you subject yourself to being exploited and used by others because you are so desperate for validation. I'm speaking from experience. Being a pick-me is not fun, and it often stems from a low self-esteem. Reason number 2, when you are a pick-me, you become a pawn in people's game to not just hurt yourself, but hurt others. People often use pick-me's to get revenge on other people. So don't seek out relationships just for the sake of any type of validation. Seek out relationships because they make you a better person, they make you feel loved, and they make you feel safe. Have a good day, and never forget, don't be a pick-me.
I've been seeing a lot of this pick-me girl content all over TikTok. And I love it. Keep it up. It is beauty. It is grace. It is fantastic. But I've noticed a lot of these girls doing the pick-me girl content are pretty young. So they've only experienced the high school and college pick-me girls. You know, the ones that are just like one of the guys or like not like other girls. Or the ones in college who get all dressed up for game day because my bros are playing. But these girls haven't experienced the adult pick-me girl. And she's the worst of all. Is the adult pick-me girl the one that wants to go shred some gnar with her snowboard bros? Like, maybe. Is she the girl that's the only girl on their intramural softball team because none of their girlfriends are good enough to play? Probably. But no, the most toxic of all adult pick-me girls is the one who brags about being able to outdrink everybody. She's that girl that calls all of her guy friends pussies when they don't want to take another shot. Or on the rare occasion where she goes out with some girlfriends, she makes fun of them for needing chasers for their tequila shots. Or most cringeworthy, she's the one that buys her ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend around and goes and cheers them because it doesn't bother her that he's moved on. Yes, it does. And no shade to this girl, because you know what? I was her. Yep, I was that girl until about 3 or 4 years ago. That pick-me girl that really needed attention from guys, and the only way to get it as an adult was either show off your tits or be able to outdrink them. And all it left me with was an alcohol problem, depression, and a few extra pounds.
I was a pick-me when I was younger. Growing up, I was always compared to other girls by my mom. I see other girls as my competition. I never genuinely feel happy when other people are successful or like other girls are prettier than me. Not only that, I was also a tomboy at that. I had short hair and I prided myself in liking boyish stuff. I liked anime. Okay, anime is not boyish, but like back then, I liked Naruto, you know, I like really boyish shows. And I always tell other people that, okay, I'm not dramatic at all. I'm so low maintenance. I get along with guys more. And whenever I see feminine looking girls, I would always be so insecure in myself and I would be jealous, would be secretly jealous. I never realized I was insecure. A few years later, I grew out my hair and I learned that being feminine is not weak. And I slowly embody feminine aspects in myself. But because of how I was raised, I still keep score with other people. Whenever I see other people, girls, being successful, I would be secretly jealous until I met this friend group. I met these 2 new girls online and they were literally so supportive and so loving. I thought they were fake. I thought they were pretending to be friendly. Until months later, I learned that wait, they're actually really genuine and they genuinely want me to be successful and they genuinely want me to be happy. And that was the first time I met girl. And I was so blown away. I was like, how is this possible? Like, they exist. Girls, they exist. As I became closer to them, I learned to love myself because they love me. And I learned to love myself, and I finally stopped comparing myself with other people. Like whenever I see pretty girls, whenever I see pretty successful girls in the street, I would be genuinely happy and genuinely be like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I don't have jealousy. It's more like I aspire to be like them. Because these 2 girls taught me that you can actually be happy for other people's success. Mind blown. Like, I'm like, what? Moral of the story, you can graduate from a pick-me to a girls, and as you learn to love yourself, as you learn to be comfortable in your own skin, you will stop being jealous of other girls and be happy for other people's success. And yes, meeting the right people, meeting the right friends is really important along the journey. And if you can't find friends around your area, you can also look for friends online. And yeah.
A form of a pick-me girl that we don't talk about enough, and honestly we just need to give more shit to, is people that try to make you feel weird for dressing up, but you're not really even dressed up for real. But like, even if you were, why are you trying to make me feel weird for dressing up? Like, they'll cause a whole scene about it. They'll be like, oh my god, you're dressed up, where are you going after this, huh? I'm just going to class, babe. I'm just going to class and I'm just wearing jeans. I'm not dressed up, it's jeans. Or, oh my god, who's the lucky guy, huh? Like, do you have a date after this? Are we so serious? And they'll say that shit loud as hell too. Like, why are you screaming? Why are you yelling? Oh my god, I could never, girl. I could never. That seems like a lot of work. I could never. I literally like get up and like I put my clothes on and I run. Like, I've been wearing these sweatpants for like weeks. Okay, dirty. Like, if you like my outfit, just say that. If you like my outfit and you're mad that you're not wearing it, just say that. Like, just say that. But like, I'll shut that shit down every time. Like, what's the point of this conversation? Like, can we have a conversation with substance? Can we like talk about the economic state of the world? Like, the thing is, you'll never make me feel bad for looking after my appearance. Like, there's nothing wrong with wearing sweatpants and shit. Tomorrow I might wear sweatpants, but today I was just feeling some jeans.
We don't talk enough about how pick-me's come from a long line of pick-me's, and how a lot of our mothers were actually victims of abuse, and they stayed with their abusers because it allowed them to survive. But what they didn't realize is that by enabling their abusers, they subconsciously trained their daughters to become pick-me's, to essentially have a man for the sake of having a man, even if he treats you and your children horribly. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and one of the things that she enabled my dad to do is take his anger out on us if we were being too noisy after he came home from work, and if we were being too noisy while he's taking a nap, and if we're being too noisy while he's eating. And it's like, we're his children too, and we were kids. Kids are not quiet. Kids are rarely ever quiet. And my dad kept knocking my mom up and constantly bringing more kids into the family. So it's like, how do you expect a household of this size to be quiet as soon as you step foot into the house? And that's what I mean by enabling abuse, because taking your anger out on your children is abusive, and training your children to be quiet as soon as their father steps into the house is enabling that abuse. If she was not an enabler, she would have said, they're kids. They're happy to see you. They're your kids. Sit and have dinner with them. Have a conversation with them. Watch a movie with them. And my dad would only do these things if he was in the mood to do them. So again, that's what I mean by enabling abuse and training your daughters to become pick-me's. Because now we have to sit down, shut up, be quiet until he's in the mood to come and socialize, until he's in the mood to come and talk, until he's in the mood to want to watch a movie or to want to eat with us or to want to see what we're up to or to check in or whatever it was. Like, that's how you become a pick-me, is you tiptoe around a man and you anticipate his needs and you fulfill those needs so that he doesn't lash out on you, so that he doesn't take his anger out on you, so that he doesn't call you names, so that he doesn't abuse you. And it's like, you're my father, though. When you grow up as a little girl who doesn't receive unconditional love from her father and receives unconditional love from her mother until her father says, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't be this nice to them. You shouldn't treat them like that. You know, my dad would literally shit on my mom for being nice to us and loving us unconditionally. He literally subconsciously trained her to also become abusive, to also take on his abusive traits, which is why it's easy for these women to become enablers, because they have been conditioned into thinking that there's nothing wrong with the behavior of this guy. And so when you grow up and you start dating men and you see these traits in these men, you don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because you're like, oh, my dad was like this. Oh, yeah, I am trained to please a man. I am trained to fulfill a man. I am trained to make sure that a man is always happy with me and doesn't lash out on me and doesn't take his anger out on me. And it's like, no, you're just a doormat. You're just a pick-me. And I think the saddest part about all of that is that they're never gonna be 100% happy with you. Like, any guy that you are being a pick-me to is always gonna have something to nitpick about. That's how he keeps you in that cycle of anticipating his needs and fulfilling them and revolving your entire life around making sure that he's happy so he doesn't have a temper tantrum. Instead of teaching little boys about their emotions and how to communicate and how to regulate their emotions, we train little girls to anticipate everybody else's emotions and everybody else's needs around them and make sure that they change themselves so that they don't get negative emotions from this person around them. And as a result, a lot of girls take on these negative emotions. That's why a lot of pick-me's are depressed, have low self-esteem, have so much anxiety. They're literally just vessels that everybody dumps their negative emotions into and then says, make something out of this and make me happy. Make me happy so I don't feel like this. I don't care how you feel. You make me happy. It's your job. I'm the man. I'm the boss of the household. And that's why you see a lot of women today choosing to stay single. There simply aren't that many males who have emotional intelligence. Instead of unlearning all the toxic things they were taught growing up, they continue to perpetuate it. And they only look for women who have not unlearned any of the stuff that they were taught as a child as well, because they are easy to control and manipulate. A lot of males don't want to do the work of understanding their emotions and how to regulate them because it's too hard. Because they've gone their entire life with someone else telling them how they feel and what to do about their emotions. Like, I literally was dating a guy who was like twice my age, and I had to break it down to him, like, why he was acting certain ways around me because of his childhood wounds. And that's when I realized, wait, I'm doing the emotional labor for this grown ass man? Absolutely the fuck not. Like, there's just no amount of money that's worth that for me. Like, because that is a personal thing. I can't tell you how to change yourself because I don't really know everything you've been through to the extent that you know everything you've been through. And if you really want to heal as a man, then you have to do the inner work yourself. But a lot of them don't know how to heal and don't really have a desire to heal until they meet a healed woman and they're like, oh, I want some of that light. Oh, I want some of this confidence. Oh, I want some of this intuition. And they latch onto you and they suck you dry and they turn you into a pygmy again because they make you do all the emotional labor that you already did for yourself to heal from being raised by a mother who enabled the abuse of a toxic man. If you haven't healed from being a pick-me, please stay single because you are going to keep attracting emotionally unintelligent and unavailable men who are going to suck you dry and use you as a vessel to dump all their trauma, all their pain, all their negative emotions that they don't want to deal with, that they don't want to understand, that they don't want to work through. They're going to dump it onto you. You're going to lose your light. You're going to become depressed and they're going to be like, you're not the same woman that you were when I met you. This isn't working anymore. And they're going to leave you in a worse place than they found you. So please heal from your pick-meism. Okay? Understand that no amount of validation from a male is going to make you feel as confident as validation from yourself. And understand that being validated by a male doesn't make you a winner in any sense. There is no prize for being validated by a male. But there is a prize for unlearning pick-meism, and the prize is a long and fulfilling and happy life.